Shalom Akim. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. In today's lesson, it's going to go into this article entitled Coronavirus Vaccine Will Not Change World Right Away. And if you take that vaccine, you're the fool. And the so-called white man, Esau Edom, as the scriptures call him, physicians of no value, okay, because physicians are supposed to heal, but this devil, all right, he does the opposite. He kills. He puts you on, a multitude of medication, prolongs your disease, but ultimately the end is death. Meanwhile, the scriptures say a real physician cutteth off a long disease, okay? He gets you on the right eating regimen, puts you on the herbs, introduce you to a better way of life. Esau pushes you, pushes McDonald's, Wendy's, the 4 for 4, all that BS. But here, take this high blood pressure medicine, you'll be all right. But it says, in the public imagination, the arrival of a coronavirus vaccine looms large. It's the neat Hollywood ending to the grim and agonizing uncertainty of everyday life in a pandemic. And reminds me of that movie World War Z, when you had the same pandemic. Well, it was actually worse, people like zombies. So what? This guy Brad Pitt, he eventually made a cure, which he tried it on himself. It worked, and the end of the movie is where they cured it. They was able to vaccine everybody and it cured them. But it says, but public health experts are discussing among themselves a new worry, that hopes for a vaccine may be soaring too high. The confident depiction by politicians and companies that a vaccine is imminent and inevitable may give people unrealistic beliefs about how soon the world can return to normal, and could lead to resistance to simple strategies that can tamp down transmissions and save lives in the short term. And one thing about putting your expectations in a man is that when he doesn't come through, that shit hurts a lot. That's why the scriptures say what? Curses the man that trusteth in men, but blesses the man that putteth in trust in the Heavenly Father, in Jeremiah 17. So it says 2 coronavirus vaccines entered the final stages of human testing last week. A scientific speed record that prompted top government health officials to utter words such as historic and astounding. Pharmaceutical executives predicted to Congress in July that vaccines might be available as soon as October or before the end of the year. As the plotline advances, so do expectations. If people can just muddle through a few more months, the vaccine will land, the pandemic will end, and everyone can throw their mask away. But best case scenarios have not materialized throughout the pandemic, and experts who believe wholeheartedly in the power of vaccines foresee a long path ahead. All right, so now I want to jump down. It says, the declaration that a vaccine has been shown safe and effective will be a beginning, not the end. Deploying the vaccine to people in the United States and around the world will test and strain distribution networks, the supply chain, public trust, and global cooperation. It will take months, or more likely years, to reach enough people to make the world safe. And meanwhile, guess what? The numbers of COVID virus symptoms, the people are going to be dying, is going to rise. For those who do get a vaccine, as soon as shots become available, protection won't be immediate. It takes weeks for the immune system to call up full platoons of disease-fighting antibodies. And many vaccine technologies will require a second shot weeks after the first to raise immune defenses. You know? And again, that's Esau being a physician of no value. All right? Because you could easily tell people, because Esau knows about the herbs, but he pushes his medication. As a matter of fact, what he does is he'll take properties out of, the medication, out of the herbs, all right, and then put his synthetic drugs on it. All right. And if you really cared about people's health, you would have told them this from the very beginning. Start eating right, working out, telling them certain herbs that would build their immune systems. But this devil don't care about that. He actually wants to kill you. All right. This is why I say, if you take that chip, if you take the vaccine or the chip, all right, and maybe it may come separately or it may come together. Either way, you're the fool. So it says the declaration that a vaccine has been shown safe and effective will be a beginning, not the end. Deploying the vaccines to people in the United States and around the world will test and strain distribution networks. Like I read that already. I'll skip to the second paragraph. For those who get a vaccine, as soon as shots become available, protection won't be immediate. It takes weeks for the immune system to call up full platoons of disease-fighting antibodies. And many vaccine technologies will require a second shot weeks after the first to raise immune defenses. Immunity could be short-lived or partial, requiring repeated boosters that strain the vaccine supply or require people to keep social distancing and wearing masks even after they receive their shots. So what's going to happen, man? Here it is, they sick of it. They straight up sick of it. And here it is, you allowing them out, just to go back up. Just to go back inside because it's not safe anymore. You knew it wasn't safe. And it's going to be a lot more uprisings, as the scriptures say, man. In 2nd Ezra 13 and 31. Let me just grab it. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another city, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. All right, that goes hand in hand with the book of Matthew, 13. It's like at 24. And what was verse 7? For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, so at the appearing of Yahushua, when he comes back to save his elect, this is what's going to be happening. Infightings, wars, martial law. Because as I mentioned yesterday, it's definitely becoming true. As the veteran newscaster, if you will, Gerald Salente, he said when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. And people are already losing their jobs. They're about to lose their houses. So you telling them here it is, you allowing them to be homeless, but you care about a disease outbreak. Here it is, you about to, which we see through the spirit. He's gonna put them in detention camps, but you care about a disease outbreak. And we of the hopeful elect, we've already seen it. But these people are going to see it as well, and they're not going to like the outcome. But when they see it, it's going to be too late for most of them. Okay? So it says, immunity could be short-lived or partial, requiring repeated boosters that strain the vaccine supply or require people to keep social distancing and wearing masks even after they receive their shots. And if a vaccine works less well for some groups of people, if swaths of the population are reluctant to get a vaccine, or if there isn't enough to go around, some people will still get sick even after scientists declare victory on a vaccine, which could help foster a false impression that it does not work. Okay? So basically, what they're saying is if you have a select few, like say you got 30 million people, just give an example, and only 12 million get the vaccine. The 30 million, I meant the other 18 million, they're going to basically infect the 12 million, even though they had the vaccine. So it's going to make it look like the vaccine never even worked, you know. But the scriptures even tell us. The scriptures tell us, for one, to never trust our enemy. For you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the so-called white man is your enemy. Okay, this man is fooling you. Okay, it's an illusion. You keep painting us as conspiracy theorists. Meanwhile, the things that we've been saying have been coming true. You know. So it says, Second Esdras chapter 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idol. As we see that coming unto fruition. All right, here it is. You home because you're scared to go out. You're scared to get the coronavirus. So Esau's going to come up with that vaccine. Which the scriptures say, as far as the chip is concerned, that Esau is going to basically feign as if this chip brings miracles. Well, that's the same thing with these vaccines. Oh, they bring in miracles. They stopped the death. It brought the COVID-19 deaths down. Okay, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Now let's look up that word. Let's see if I could do it from here. No, I can't. I'm gonna look up that word derision. That word derision means contemptuous, ridicule, or mockery. And what did the Lord say? Proverbs 1 and 23. Turn you at my reproof, talking to his people, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the elect scattered throughout, his people scattered throughout all four corners of the earth, because we do preach that. It says, behold, I will pour out my spirit into you, and I will make known my words unto you. Don't trust this devil. Come back into your power. Your power is the only one that cares about you. You're in slavery, but hey, there's going to be a power. His name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shah, that's going to come back and save you. That's going to put your oppressor under you. Okay? I don't know if I mentioned it already, but hey, your power is the only one that cares about you. These other nations hate your guts. Because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. So don't call upon the Lord then. All right? Because what? You knew better. We told you so. It says, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, because that's the most, just that's very devastating. When you know to do better, but you didn't, you chose not to. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Okay? And our people are going to be calling on every god under the sun. You know? Every god that they heard. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way. Okay, as the old saying goes, a hard head makes a soft behind. And be filled with their own devices. Okay? They're going to be filled with their own devices. They feel like Esau is their power. Well, hey, let him come and save you. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. You know? You looking at this, you wishing for this place to go back to normal so good that you willing to follow the wicked. But whosoever hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. Okay? So, hey, man, we telling you what it is, man. All right? We outside looking in. Like, you niggas, man. And we keep praying every day that Yahweh Shem Yahushai keeps our mind intact. As it is written, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Wisdom of what? Who the devil is. What he's doing. All right? Knowledge that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to save us from that. Okay? It says, a proven vaccine will profoundly change the relationship the world has with the novel coronavirus and how many experts believe the pandemic will end. In popular conception, a vaccine is regarded as a silver bullet, but the truth, especially with the earliest vaccines, probably will be far more nuanced. Public health experts fear that could lead to disappointment and erode the already delicate trust essential to making the effort to vanquish the virus succeed. And this is where you get martial law. The drive to develop vaccines is frequently characterized as a race with one country accompanying in the lead. The race metaphor suggests that what matters is who reaches the finish line first. But first across the finish line is not necessarily the best. And it almost certainly isn't the end of the race, which could go on for years. It says, I'll just read this last. Oh no, there's more, but I'll just read this. It says the realistic scenario is probably going to be more like what we saw with HIV/AIDS, said Michael Kinch, an expert in drug development and research at Washington University in St. Louis. With HIV, we had a first generation of looking back now fairly mediocre drugs. I'm afraid. And people do not like to hear this, but I'm kind of constantly preaching it. We have to prepare ourselves for the idea we do not have a very good vaccine. My guess is the first generation of vaccines may be mediocre, and it's too late now. So how much more in a few more months, People, hey, man, this place is about to get real bad, And we bring out the same precepts because now, as it says in Habakkuk, they are speaking. Second Ezra 15, and I'll just jump straight to the point. 15 and 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Okay, so the Most High is going to bring death by way of these vaccines, by way of the physician of no value. This is Isaiah 31 and I started at 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words. And for those of you who are listening, just know that most people is going to die. All right, they're already set in their ways to trust in Esau, to trust in his society, make America great again. Even if they don't like Trump, that's what they think. But will arise against the house of evildoers, Slakia, verse 2. I'll go back at 1. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words. So the Most High ultimately is going to bring evil upon you people for not listening to him. Because at the end of the day, the Most High will get his respect. That's what it's all about. You respecting the Lord. But will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. With that, shalom to the elect.